Hey, Real Green Ninja here. Today we're going to talk about what to do with duplicate customers that was on a marketing list that you just imported. So let's begin. Let's say you buy a marketing list from Real Green, which is what we'd prefer, or a third party, which again will help you guys import that list if you have it. What you can do is import the list. Now, if the customer is already in the system in a marketing status, the information on the new list that gets imported will overwrite the old information that's in the marketing status customer that's already in the system. But if that customer is in a 0 through 9 status, again, one of those active data statuses, either estimate or canceled or active or whatever, what's going to happen is when you import that list, it's going to have a window at the end that says, hey, these are the customers that were on your list, but they were already in the system, and I don't know what to do with them, so you need to let me know. When you do that, that list will stay there until you figure out what to do with those customers. So again, you could import the marketing list and then like a month later call up Real Green and say, hey, I had these duplicates, I'm not quite sure what to do with them, and we'll explain what they, what you options are and stuff like that. But when we go into tools, utilities, marketing utilities. Now I did set this up ahead of time, so we're not actually doing an import on this video. That's actually a different video. It's still going to warn us to make sure you do a backup. But again, I'm not worried about those. Now you might want to do a backup. Okay, again, especially if it's been a while and you're not quite sure, or you're not quite sure what you're doing, and then that way we can always restore your backup if you need to. But you'll notice that when I go to the duplicates tab, I already have a list in there. And again, these are customers down here that were in my database already. So if I click on this first one here, you'll see that the person's last name on the list I imported was Jones, but I already had a customer, Wanda Oddparent. Okay, now the customer was in a 9 status. All right. So again, we can decide what we want to do in regards to those people that were already in the system. Now, if I want to, I can tell it to select all of them, and then I can also tell it to import the selected duplicates, which means it will create a second or duplicate account for those people. Most companies are probably not going to want to create multiple accounts. Again, different companies do different things. Like I said, though, if you're unsure, you can always give us a call. We can explain how things work or what these things mean. But on the end of the day, it really is up to you to decide what you want to do with them. Now, if you know for certain that all the people that are in your system that are 0 through 9 status and that is the accurate information, then we can even delete the selected duplicates. All right, we can hit deselect all as well here, and it removes the checkbox. Now, what we could do also is we could tell it to delete the duplicates that match active customers, and these are going to be your 8 or 9s. Because again, if they're active customers, you're actually doing stuff for them. They have services and stuff on their screen. If all their jobs were canceled, then the customer status itself should be canceled. But like I was saying, it's saying delete the duplicates matching active customers. I could hit select all, and it will delete that and delete those ones on this list. Now I could also delete duplicates matching canceled customers with a balance. That means that if the person's on this list, one of these addresses on the list already exists in the system as a canceled customer and they owe you money, or you owe them money, credit or remit balance, leave them alone or delete them from this list, because we're not going to overwrite it. Again, we want to get that money back before we actually start, updating the system and stuff like that. Now, we could also delete duplicates with matching last names and phone numbers. So again, sometimes, it might be 128 South Castell, or it might be very close, First Street or whatever. And you say, you know what, if the last name and the phone number matches, and again, you can scroll over here a little bit to see more information, then delete that duplicate from this list. Not from the system, not from your active database, but again, from this list. So what you might want to do is you might want to hit select all, and then hit delete duplicates matching active customers. Again, it will go through. You see it got rid of 10 records, which pretty much meant to me all the people I had in my system that were on that spreadsheet that I imported earlier were already active customers in the system. If there was anybody left on the list, again, I can go through and decide what I want to do. Now, you do have the ability to overwrite certain statuses. So, for example, if I wanted to overwrite the 0 through 4 statuses, again, those are those yellow estimate statuses, I can check mark those and hit overwrite current customer data. But a real important thing is, though, is you'll notice there's a big red section here. You would definitely want to do a data backup before using that part of this utility. All right. Now, when you delete customers, you can delete their invoice and worksheet notes when the last name changes. So, for example, if I wanted to go through and say, okay, delete those people, it will, or when I overwrite those, it will delete the invoice worksheet notes when the last name changes. So, what that's saying is, it's saying that on the customer account itself, if I updated some information by doing the overwrite, it's going to delete whatever's in here. Now, for some companies, this information right here is specific to the client, meaning, hey, this person's hard of hearing, make sure to knock loudly. All right. Or if the information is specific to the property, you might not want to delete it out because, again, that's information you might want to carry over, saying, watch out for the hills or bumps or whatever, okay? Or maybe there's an old well in the back and say, hey, careful if you're spraying around the old well. Also, you can delete notes from customer memo tab when last name changes. Again, if you overwrite something, you're saying delete what information is in here. Again, some companies, it's specific to the client, some is specific to the property, some of it's a combination. Again, it's up to you to decide at the end. That is why this list here will stick around until you actually decide what to do with it. I did even have a call where the last time they had done an import was over a year ago, and they're like, well, wait a minute, how can there be people on the list when we haven't done any imports recently? And I said, well, that's because you haven't figured out what you want to do with the list yet. If you want to, you can even print out the list. Again, you can preview it as a report or even export it out to like the customer search screen if you want to double check and stuff like that. So like I was saying, as far as duplicates are concerned, again, we can show you how it works and explain how the options and stuff work, but it really is up to you to decide at the end of the day how to handle them. So I hope that helps, and you guys have yourself a wonderful day.